Hi, this is Senior Grandmaster Hemenes from Kaji Kimbo Live. Today, our topic is Senior Grandmaster Vargas. I got people emailing me and or messaging me and stuff like that about him and just stupid stuff from the past and stuff like that. I thought would be over by now. But I kind of want to straighten out a few things. Okay, before I make this video, I want to make a note. I do not condemn any child molester, any pedophile, nothing like that. That's the worst person on my list for someone to be like that. So I want to get that over before I get all the little trolls that jump on the bandwagon and start saying I'm for this kind of stuff, because I'm far from it. I'm the complete opposite. Now, being said that, okay, when you hear rumors or you hear people saying nasty things about people, okay, for number one, there's two sides of a story. And before we get into the story, I'll give you a quick example. Like, for example, Rock Hudson, okay? Before he came out gay, he was the biggest movie star at his time, the ladies' man. Every girl wanted him. He was just a man's man, he was the coolest guy back in the day, Rock Hudson was. But as soon as he came out that he was gay, everybody turned on him. He's this, he's that, whatever. I don't want to say the word, but just a bunch of nasty things, calling him names because he was that way. But then he forgot about all the great movies he made and what he did before that. Now keep in mind, if you're gay or you're into that, whatever, that's your business. Who cares? I don't care. I've had gay students. I've had gay guys come in together. Girls come in together. I mean, who cares? I don't care. They don't different than anybody else. But with Senior Grandmaster Vargas, people gave him a really, really bad time for what had happened. Everybody knows pretty much what happened. Okay, got accused of, with a boy. Okay, but you guys got to keep this in mind. He was proven innocent. Not only he knows, the boy, and God knows if it really happened. I don't know if it really happened. I wasn't there. None of you that talk shit about him were there. None of you. But you already put it in your mind. He was guilty, and he is what he was. Okay, and you guys treated him very poorly. Even though he was proven innocent. If you pull his record up, it's empty. He could teach kids. He could have his own studio. He can do anything he wants. There's no charges on him for what they said. The case was dropped. Okay, too many lies, not enough evidence, so on and so on. Now again, to get back to Senior Grandmaster Vargas, I was with him for 6 years, and I got my black belt with him. Now keep in mind, in the 70s, it was pretty hard workout, really tough, and he was a very hard teacher. Him and Bill Owens, I've said this before, him and Bill Owens have the best studio in the Bay Area. Best studio. There's no other two studios that can beat Costco's and Vargas' studio. I mean, Vargas at the time, and people make fun of him, but you can keep in mind, he put out Senior Grandmaster Juarez. He gave him his black belt all the way up to 4th degree. He promoted the Palins. It was under him. Myself, Jim Minetti. The list goes on and on and on. Tammy Croissant was rated number 3 in the United States as fighting. He put all those people out. That's a fact. That's not bullshit. That's a fact. So in doing so, he had to be a good teacher. But people don't go by that. They go by what they read in the paper, or Joe Blow said this and Joe Blow said that. I'll give you a good example. Um, when all this stuff happened, I remember I had left. I was there 6 years, and then I went straight under Great Grandmaster Gaylord for the last 48 years. Okay, and I didn't talk to Senior Grandmaster Vargas for about 30 years because we had left on bad terms. Um, so how I got back a hold of him was he had a student. The student was named Tim Vargas. He had no relations to him, but that was a student. And Tim Vargas got a hold of me, and kind of an odd fella. He was like a groupie. I mean, he just constantly messaged me, text me. You know, oh my God, you're the best. You're the greatest. Oh my God, you're like a superstar. You're this, you're that, you're that. He went on for I don't know how long. Just overkilled it to the point it was like, oh my God, this guy's like a groupie. So, but he was a nice guy, and I liked the guy. I can't say I didn't like him. He was nice. We had a nice talk, and he had said, he goes, talked about Senior Grandmaster Vargas, and I told him I haven't seen him in 30 years, and I kind of left it at that. Well, on his own merit, he got a hold of Senior Grandmaster Vargas, and had him call me after 30 years. Of course, I get a phone call, and I recognize his voice instantly. And we just started talking, and we talked for hours and hours, and I kind of brought him back out, because he has a house in Sonol, and that's where he stays, and, and he didn't want to be involved in martial arts no more. So, no, you need to come out, just don't have to hide no more and stuff like that. Anyway, I brought him out. Now, we had the meeting in Fresno, the first Kaji Kimbo meeting. Remember, all the people that talked crap about him, right? Well, in that meeting, probably everybody was probably there in Kaji Kimbo. He got there, and he talks very intelligent. He got up there, and he talked several times. There was not one person that called him a name, told him to leave, none of that stuff. Everybody just listened. And he came up with the Senior Grandmaster part of the Kaji Kimbo, which made sense. Because people wanted to, because Cedros had no more 10th degrees, and then they were complaining because then, you'd have students that catch up with you, and it wouldn't be fair to keep them down at 8th degree. So he made it, well, if you're a Grandmaster at 9th degree, and you have a student that needs to be brought up the same rank as you, you would be their senior. So your name would be Senior Grandmaster, or so on and so on. That would put you above their student. So that's where the Senior Grandmaster came at that meeting. Everything was fine. I had picked up. I had my limousine at the time, and myself. I picked up Grandmaster Baca, he wasn't a Grandmaster at the time, and I picked up Tim Vargas. And he's in the car, and he didn't say two words to us. He just sat there, but I'm like, whatever, just quiet. Well, after that meeting, Vargas wanted me to be successor to his if he passes. Well, I guess Tim Vargas thought he was supposed to be successor. So all of a sudden he turned on us. And especially me. In fact, at one point I was going to put a restraining order on him. Because he just, everything I'd said, or he'd come out on every social media thing, he's behind me saying things that aren't true and making things up about Vargas, about me, just off the wall stuff, trying to sell him a rank. He's lucky he's even a 1st degree, or an 8th degree, and no one's ever sold him a rank. That's just outright bullshit. So he made these little things up, so that's the kind of troll that we kind of started out at first was that. With him pulling all that crap, and Vargas was quite upset because Vargas really looked after him, and like when we had heart surgery, Vargas sat at the hospital for 10 hours while we had surgery, making sure he was okay. And then for him to turn on Grandmaster Vargas and myself was kind of unreal, and but it is what it is. He's just not all there. That's how I take it. But what happened after that was you get all the people wouldn't talk shit about him if I was with him, but when I wasn't with him, they make fun of him. Like, for example, he went to Portugal and I couldn't go. And he went by himself. He's sitting on a bus with a ton of people that were from all over. And he's sitting in the front, and he always had a camera because he took, photos of everything, right? And one of the top senior grandmasters of KSDI, he stands up and he goes, "Oh, there was a dick out in the out the window. Vargas were taking a picture of it." Now this is a senior grandmaster saying something about another senior grandmaster. Who in the hell does that? Of course, they have to bust laughed and stuff. And I asked him, I go, "What'd you do?" He goes, "No, I sat there in disgust." And then he went to one of the students' rooms to do his itinerary for his flight. And the same grandmaster was, "Oh, he's going to go in there and fuck that guy in the ass." This is a top KSDI guy saying this. And I come to find out later, his son's gay. I'm just like, what the hell? You're talking about somebody like that, I'm like, okay, let it slide. Then I hear from everybody else, "Oh yeah, he came to our seminar and we kicked him out." "Oh, he came to Portland and we didn't want him there." Okay, let me tell you something. I was driving in the car in Hawaii, and one of the senior I'll leave his name out because I don't want to be a bunch of crybabies, but one of the senior grandmasters was driving, and the other one was on the other side, and he goes, "Yeah, we're talking that Vargas was brought up," and he goes, "Oh yeah, he came to the seminar in Hawaii, and we met him at the door and made him leave." And I go, and then the other grandmaster goes, "Oh yeah," he goes, I go, "That happened." I go, "Really?" I go, "Did you see it happen?" He goes, "Well, no, I didn't see it happen, but I heard it did." I go, "Really?" I go, "No one kicked him out." I go, "He was there from the beginning to the end, taking pictures. No one kicked him out." And I told him that. I said, "That's an outright lie." So then, of course, he shut his mouth and didn't say anything. We went to Oregon and Washington for a seminar. It was Trent Junker's seminar. And he was so excited for us to be there. He couldn't wait. We were there. Boy was like, "Oh my God." We did the seminar. And it was actually, I think it was Tim Garnier. His wife had some property. It had a bunch of warehouses on it. And he had his little studios in there. And that's the first one we went to. Now remember, Tim Garnier is one of the ones that talked bad about him too. And, "Oh yeah, we're going to kick him out. We're going to disown him." Well, Tim Garnier, we sat in Tim Garnier's kitchen, or his wife's kitchen, not his wife's kitchen. And we signed, myself, Grandmaster Vargas, Aldo Coscos, must have signed 12, 15 certificates. So if he didn't want him in his house or the seminar, why would he be inside of his house signing certificates? Makes you want to think where the bullshit was coming from. Okay, Trent Junker, get to him. He was so happy to see us when we came to his thing. "Oh my God, Senior Grandmaster Vargas, whatever, on. Then people start talking crap on the Kajikimbo Cafe. What's he do? First thing he says, "Oh yeah, he came to my seminar. I was going to kick him out." Of course, I had to come in there and go, "No, you're a liar. You're jumping on the bandwagon. You did not kick him out. You did not try to say anything to him. You were so excited because he was there, and myself." So all those people, they jumped on the bandwagon. Now, going the whole story with KA, kicking him out of the KA, he was involved in it for years anyway. They kicked him out. They had all newspaper articles at the meeting, supposedly, and stuff like that. So they kicked him out because of what their claims were. But yet, one of their own people got caught for being a pedophile and is not allowed to teach children, but they kept him in there. Makes you want to think. One's proven innocent, one's not, and they kept the one that's not. They kept him in there. Now, KSDI, they put a letter out, not recognizing him and stuff like that because supposedly, he did this and he's gay, and Imperator's, "Oh, he's gay, I don't want him in the thing." We can't do that. And number one, he goes, you can get sued for that. You can't oust somebody because they're gay or whatever. Now, I'm not saying he's gay. I'm just saying that's what they're coming back and saying. So that was put out. Now, you keep in mind, any lawyer will tell you the same thing. You can't fire somebody or oust somebody because of their situation. Now, if he was proven guilty for what they said he did, sure, I wouldn't want him around either. But again, he was proven innocent. But yet, he got picked on and picked on and picked on and picked on. All the gay jokes, all that stuff, constantly. Now, I didn't talk to him for a while again, and then when I had Grandmaster Bruno come from Portugal, we went to the Fresno tournament. Grandmaster Bruno wanted him there because everybody in Portugal really likes him, and Grandmaster Bruno said, he goes, "I want him here at this meeting," and Vargas didn't want to go because of all the crap. So when he came to the tournament, he just sat in the doorway in the front. I kind of stand beside him, make sure nobody, messed with him and stuff. And then Sid Lopez did the same thing. Tammy Casan kind of guarded him a little bit, But then I get, one of the other black belt girls, Tammy. "Oh my God, what the hell is he doing here? I got little kids here." I'm all, "Yeah? Well, I was going to go to that meeting. Now I'm not going to go because I have kids and he's here." I said, "What's he going to do? What do you think he's going to do? Run over there and attack your kids in the bleachers?" I go, "The man's standing way over there." That's the kind of mentality that people have. I said, if you're proven guilty, great, 100%. You're proven not guilty, like I said, the only three people that know are those three. It's Gotti, Vargas, and the kid. Okay? And again, I don't condone none of this stuff. But what I'm getting at is people shouldn't slander other people because of a he said, she said type of thing. Just like O.J. Simpson, hate to bring him up. We all know he did it. But he got off guilty. He got off free. He got off free. He didn't do it. But we kind of know he did it. But how many people stood by that man's side because they worshipped him because of the football thing, and say he didn't do it? Now the facts look and say, yeah, he did it. But then the facts came back, well, this, and that, so he was proven innocent. Okay? I hate to kind of use him for an example, but there's a lot of people out there that are proven innocent that are innocent and still get their wrath from everything. So just now with Senior Grandmaster Vargas, it's with all the Kaji Kimbo and all different kind of martial arts. Know the facts. Talk to the person. So many times that I hear stuff, that people tell me stuff, and if I'm not sure, or it bothers me, or it's going to affect me somehow, or affect my association somehow, I will go to that person. You explain to me what's going on. I want to hear your side of the story. There's always two sides of a story. And I'll listen. And then I make my own decision. I don't go like, Grandmaster Joe Blow said this about so-and-so. Oh, okay. Well, I'll talk to that person. Or until it affects me or my association, then I'll step in. Okay? With Senior Grandmaster Vargas, everybody made their decision. They ousted the man. And like I said, he's in his 80s. He lives in his cabin. You don't hear from him no more. And you're probably never going to hear from him ever again. But when he did come out for those few years, he didn't hurt nobody. And most of the time, I took him myself, and my driver, Leo, was always with us. I took him, or I take him in my limousine, and we go to different places and stuff like that. Never once did he act out of line. He was always professional, and he was always there to help give advice to everybody. I got the thing that when I myself and Grandmaster Lopez got promoted to Grandmaster, we get promoted on the Palama settlements. Jason Groff had a tournament. Uncle Frank was there. Uncle Frank, nice guy. he wouldn't let go of my hand, he just was like, just took a liking to me. Everything was great. And then after we did our promotion, and stuff like that, then we hear from Jason Groff, if I knew they were going to promote those guys on that Palama settlement, I would have stopped it. Well, no, you couldn't have stopped it. You don't owe the Palama settlement. And it was like, when Vargas and Hemenes and Robert New and Lopez came, I was going to kick them all out. I didn't see you kick us out. I saw you shake our hands and introduce us to Uncle Frank. But this is what here. This is called, I guess you would call it two-faced. Don't be nice to our faces and talk shit behind our back. Okay, so it's just ridiculous. And like I said, this happened a long time ago, and I wasn't going to bring it up. And but I thought, well, maybe I'll just straighten out a few things, and about him. Like I said, he put out top champion black belts, real black belts, not the ones that are coming out now that are not trained the way we were trained in the 70s. All these guys right now that are, don't get me wrong, I'm sure you train hard and stuff like that. I can't say you don't. Okay, but there's a lot of them you can't compare. And the old school guys know exactly what I'm talking about. In the old days, you trained hard. You bled. You got the shit kicked out of you. I mean, now you get sweaty, and you're there for your hour class. Woo, hard workout. Okay, no. You don't know what a hard workout is. And that's how it was back in the day. So, again, I'm going to cut this video short. I don't want to go too long. But I hope I answered some people's question about Senior Grandmaster Vargas. Like I said, me and him don't get along on a lot of things. Okay, karate-wise stuff. But I've never seen him do anything. I know that all the other black belts that I talked to said the same thing. I've never seen him do anything. I've never opened the door and caught him. I never, whatever. Never. So I don't know what the truth is. All I know is I've never seen anything happen. So give the man a break. Let him finish the rest of his life out. And just keep in mind, he put out top champion black belts. More than most all of you did. Because look what they dwindled down to. The people we put out. Myself, Warheads, Palins. Think about it. I'm Senior Grandmaster Hemenes. This is Kaji Kimbo Live. Until next time, I'll see you later.